5 reasons why your sweep arpeggio sounds more like this and not like this. In today's video, here we go. Hey guitar champion, what's going on? Justin Hombach here, back from my practice cave, and welcome to today's video where we're going to take a deeper look into 5 common mistakes that a lot of people do when they are playing sweep arpeggios. Watch this video till the end because problem number 5 is one of the biggest problems that most guitar players are doing and the main reason why their sweeping sounds like shit. So, and as we Germans always like to say, weniger schnacken, Kopf im Nacken. Let's go. And of course, feel free to leave a comment, a like, and of course to subscribe to this channel. Okay, problem number 1 is often that your pull-offs are shorter than the rest of the arpeggio. When we're playing sweep arpeggio, we have the turning point, which is often hammer-on or pull-off. But the problem here for most beginners is this. Oh, süßer. Of course, a little bit over exaggerating here, but what can we do against this common mistake? Try to find that certain tempo where you have more control and more awareness of what is happening in your left hand, because it's a left hand problem. And like on synchronization problems with speed picking or the other techniques, here it's also really important to find all these little traps that makes your playing not tight anymore. So start with a smaller sweep arpeggio shape, like 3 strings. Try to find a tempo where you have full control about every movement in your left hand. And don't do it like I just did, practice it always with a metronome. And here I also recommend to put your metronome on 8 notes, not on quarter notes. When you're seeing this as 60-note triplets, stay away from having the pulse here on the first note, like only 1, 2. Try to set your metronome in 8 notes so you have the pulse more like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. This helps you to have a better orientation in your time feel. And the same of course with the hammer-on when we have 5-string sweep arpeggios. So for example, take the reverse sweep arpeggio shape. Which is basically the last string set of our 5-string sweep arpeggio shape, and work on the hammer-on and on your time feel there. The second common mistakes, actually 2 common mistakes, is either you are not muting at all or you are way too much muting. I often see 2 proper extreme examples where either one, a guitar player is doing something like this. No muting at all, or it's doing something like this. Way too much muting. When you're practicing the sweep technique really slow, be aware of that you are muting with your palm, but you're only muting the strings below the string that you are picking right now. This may need a little bit of time. This can feel a little bit weird, and I would say it's the hardest thing when you're learning the new sweep technique, but it is really important to have clean and fluent sweeping. So, be aware of your palm and sometimes double check, like for example only sweep to a certain string and then check, is every string below that muted with our palm hand, with the palm of our hand, sorry. Okay, common mistake number 3 is you're skipping notes. Especially when we have an arpeggio like this A minor arpeggio. Sometimes I see people, especially when they're playing it fast, doing something like this. They're skipping 1 note. Because maybe a certain finger is not fast enough in that tempo to make that kind of movement to go from one string to the next string. So here I recommend to speed it up, play it in your fast tempo, play it in time and focus on that movement when you know which kind of note you are skipping. So first of all, you need to record yourself or to film yourself to analyze what you are doing here, and once you find it out, then you can focus, for example, on this note, on the middle finger from that A minor kind of sweep arpeggio, and just sweep to that note to get a feeling, to get it down. Try to build up an awareness and a focus on every movement where you normally know that this movement is a really tricky one and you often skip that kind of movement, and this is why your sweep arpeggio sounds not so fluent and not so clean. As soon as you know this, then work with the method that I've mentioned on this kind of problem. Common mistake number 4 is you don't practice the roll technique. The roll technique is one of the most essential techniques in our left hand for sweeping. I know there are methods like the one from Jason Richardson where he's trying to avoid the roll technique. This kind of works for him, but I would say as soon as we've got the roll technique under our finger, and it's actually not that hard, then it's an easier way for us to play or to outline certain sweep arpeggios. But you have to be aware of 3-string rolls, 2-string rolls, then the correct muting so that something like this won't happen. You heard that? Here I tried to put my ring finger on the G string to roll to the D string. But what happened is that I accidentally pushed too hard, and also by pushing it too hard played a note which is actually on the B string, and that note is not part of the chord. That does not really sound good in an A minor context, because here I want an A minor chord and not an A minor chord with a major third in it as well. Works for a blues situation, but not really for a minor situation. So how do we work on our roll technique? I have a whole chapter for the roll technique in the ZEN of Sweep Picking, my online masterclass about sweep picking, where you have more than 13 etudes about sweep picking. One exercise from this chapter is, for example, taking the C on the low E string and then roll over 3 strings with the index finger. And then go back with the middle finger. And then the ring finger and the pinky. Or only doing 2 notes. To get a feeling for the roll technique. You can include sweep picking as well to work a little bit more on your right hand. But you could also outline scales with that. So, and this is a proper way how you can practice your roll technique. Really important for sweep picking. Okay, common problem number 5 is you practice your sweep technique wrong when playing it slow. A few days ago I saw a guitar player that tried to show some slow sweeps in her video, and the problem here is that she was not sweeping it. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, you have to know, even when I'm playing an arpeggio, this was not sweeping. This is sweeping. So what's the big difference? Sweeping should be one movement. This one sweep movement comes through a lot of force in our right hand, and especially something which is called the rest stroke. So even when you're practicing sweeps slow, always try to have the rest stroke. That means that you're landing with the tip of the pick on the next string. This is super important to get a feeling for the push, the kind of force that you need to get from this tempo to this. This is really important, really crucial, so always be aware of this. When you're practicing sweep slow, that you have the rest stroke movement where you're landing with your pick, the tip of the pick on the next string. Alright, these are 5 common beginner mistakes when it comes to sweep picking. I hope you liked this little video. I hope I'm going to see you in my next video. Have a lot of fun practicing, learning and mastering the etudes from the ZEN of Sweep Picking. Cheers so far, stay progress. Bye.